Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. We are back at it again. We are definitely back at it again. Doing the Lord's work. Doing what we were sent to do on planet Earth. Doing what we were supposed to do as Pan-Africanists to make sure that we progress and advocate for the African agenda. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please feel free to tell me where you're watching me from, as we are still waiting for the others. Our national meeting is officially underway as we wait for the other parliamentarians to come in. Waiting for the other parliamentarians to come in. Martin Ardumela, Gedumidisa Martin, where are you watching us from, Martin? And Pan-African Youth Union, I love that one. I love that one. Welcome parliamentarians. Welcome directors of the board. Welcome Jonasi is watching us from Rhodoport. Thank you so much. Tabo is here, obviously watching us from Lesotho. The Mountain Kingdom. Thank you so much for watching, guys. We are back. We are back, and we are very much charged up for pushing this national parliament meeting with your host King and with you as the other parliamentarians to discuss some few matters that affect and affect us as Pan-Africanists, whether directly or indirectly so. So we need to be talking about this type of things on the agenda. We've got Martin Emalahleni from Ntole, Mpumalanga. Yeah, Mpumalanga. You know, Mpumalanga is my birth province. I'm from Kwandebele, in a place called Kwamhlanga. So I'm a Mpumalanga boy, actually, even though I'm here in the Northern Cape, enjoying the Northern Cape, I might add. But I'm from Mpumalanga. I just had to come here to find a Tswana woman. Nkosinathi, my king, it has been long in Joburg CBD, always following at back. Keep pushing, my brother. There's nothing that is stopping us. Even death will not slow down this movement. We've got Cape Town in the house. Cape Town, thank you so much. Cape Town, we have to talk about this thing of you guys wanting to, be an independent state. That nonsense will not happen in South Africa. Not under our watch. Not under our watch. One thing that we must be able to do as Pan-Africanists is to be able to organize ourselves. And when needs arise, get in buses, get in our cars, and go to a certain place to make sure that we protest and show our distaste or disagreement with particular subjects, because this thing of things that's happening and we are only what you call social media gangsters. We are just disagreeing and agreeing from the comfort of our home, in our blankets, on a phone, must stop. Pan-Africanism is about action, and we have to get into a stage where we are organizing ourselves. Someone said on the comment section yesterday or today on a video that I posted, he said, King, we need to organize ourselves like AfriForum has organized themselves. Peace in Pan-Africanism. Please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, from all around Africa. I'm your boy King 053, Mr. Easy Imalian. Today we're having a parliamentarian discussion, open discussion, with a few things on the agenda that I'm going to give to you guys now. But the main thing is still pushing the African agenda. These meetings, we are having them for open discussions. I'm hoping I'll be able to upgrade the studio. You guys know I'm upgrading the studio next month, so that we can have other people who can participate with videos, who can be with me on the live. And then my ultimate vision is to fly you guys to Kimberley. At least Kimberley's got an airport, so I can fly you guys, or bus you guys. Let's not promise the fly for everyone, because I saw the flights. I was in Joburg the other day. I was 2.6, 2.8, 3,000 rent. My goodness. So I want to get you some of you guys here in Kimberley to come and have a live discussion with the boy King, and then make sure that we build up the family, especially the people that will be involved in Paseta. Paseta is the Pan African School of Economics, Technology, and Agriculture. That's the main reason why this channel exists. So feel free to tell me where you are watching me from. Send your blessings. One of my favorite people here is here. Always Fortune, my PA sister. I love you so much, Fortune. Please don't throw me away. Don't throw me away, Fortune. You know I love you so much. You are my queen. We might have different political views, but I really do love you guys that have been here since we had, 1,000 subscribers. Fortune has been here as a sister, showing support to the channel, and as a PA member. You guys know how I speak about Gaten McKinsey and whatever. And the thing that we always say is that we as Africans must never be in a point where we hate each other because of our political or religious beliefs. It must not be that because we disagree on a point, now you want to fight me or be against the movement or whatever. Look at the good that we are doing. I will look at the good that you are doing, and I'll support it. When the PA does something that is recommendable, I will definitely, voice out my support for the movement. Gaten McKenzie went out, went to Pakistani shops and checked the expiring goods and said, listen, these foods are expired, and it was children food, purity. And I said that is very recommendable for political parties, political leaders, even more so, to be in the field and say, listen, this is wrong. What is the Pan African Youth Union saying? My one and only king. I have second from Musimuzi. That is very recommendable. My name is Fiso, African Fist of Fire, from Ndwendwe, from Ndwendwe, KZN, but currently residing in Durban, the city central, Russell Street. Stay firm. We are with you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, King. Amongst all, please push more on agriculture development on the young people, of course. Of course. That's why we had to put it on the name. So first on the agenda, we want to speak about Paseta. But remember, Paseta is going to be something that we're going to speak about throughout the live feed, okay? Throughout the live feed. Agriculture is very important. It's very, very important. Pretoria is in the house. Pretoria is in the house. Thank you so much for joining. Pretoria in the house. I see you. Thank you so much. Umondli ukhona, Peter King, at Peter Retif. Umondli ukhona. Thank you so much, guys. I think all the board members are here. The ones that are not here will join us late. I see the chosen one is here. Peace in Pan Africanism, my brother. Thank you so much for joining. I'm going to try to keep up with the comments and everything that the parliament members are going to raise on the comment section. Please excuse me if I miss something. Just alert me, because we don't have a scribe or a person that's taking minutes, but the channel will improve on that regard. Live from Midrand in Mpumalanga, Nyabonga, Mpumalanga, my best country. Thank you so much. Cape Town Park, thank you for coming in. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. So, how we came about to decide with the name Peta, Pan African School of Economics, Technology, and Agriculture is because we wanted to voice out our intention on improving exactly that for our African children that will be in this Pan African school. You know, the great thing about this school, hey guys, when I tell you God is good, I'm not joking around. I'm not joking around. What I initially wanted is that I want to prepare myself and prepare a team for you new on the channel. I wanted to prepare myself and prepare a team. There is a message that I dropped on the 1st of January. It's a message to all Africans. Go and watch that video, and you will hear what I'm saying on this video. The 1st of January, I said we want to open this school, okay? But I want to, because of the fear of the unknown, I said, I want to give myself about 5 years of preparing for the foundation of the school. So in that 5 years, I want to prepare the team. I want to register the school. I want to get the team, the board. I want to get the land, get the funding, set up the accounts and everything. And I thought to myself, okay, it will take about 5 years because sometimes you don't want to move too quickly and rush into things, and then the next things fail and people will point fingers at you. With that fear, we all have it. That's why we are procrastinating to start businesses, to get into relationship, committing in things that are actually going to change our lives. So that fear, the king also had it when it comes to the school, because the school is the biggest thing that I have ever thought of as a Pan-Africanist, as a human, to think, let me do something. A school is not a joke. Billionaires are not building schools. It's not easy. It's not like building a normal mainstream media school that is that is going to use standard education modules and everything. So it's not, it's a dream that scared me. And I know something about dreams that scares you. It's definitely dreams that comes from above. So I said, okay, let me give it a 5-year term. Let's try to build with my African people. How are my YouTube people going to, my YouTube family going to receive this dream? Are they going to stand with it? Are they going to, speak against it and everything? Do people want to build a school, a Pan-African school? Why is it so important for us to build a Pan-African school? So I said, no, let me give it 5 years. And in 5 years, for sure, I know, even if it does not come from funding from outside, with my own funding, with my own strength, I can probably do something. Whether it be a small school, whether it be buying a building, or whether it be whatever, if nobody supports me, I'll probably can do something in 5 years. I was thinking along those lines. But into January, I'm telling you, the Lord spoke to me and said, no, 5 years is too long. You're not going to wait for 5 years. I'm not going to give you a dream and then you decide to push it 5 years. This does not come from you. You are sent. This is a reincarnation of Thomas Sankara. This is a reincarnation of Chris Hani. This is what Robert Sibuku wanted to do in South Africa. So don't worry about the strength that you have, but rather focus on the strength of the unity that you are trying to preach. Understand? Hello, Sir King. United as one, Africa. Patimo watching us from Maike, Northwest. Your roads are terrible in Northwest. Don't vote for nonsense in Northwest. Thank you so much. Babo is always here and it's always supporting the channel. Thank you so much for the Cash App. Thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. You are right. You are right on track, King. Some of us can learn a lot from this initiative. Yeah, of course, my queen. Thank you so much, Fortune. And Botswana is in the house, guys. Botswana is in the house, guys. My goodness. So as we're speaking about Paseka, if Botswana is in the house, then we're ready to go. We're just missing Namibia. Namibia, please comment on the conversation if you are here. If we get Namibia, the CFO Babo is here. Babu is here, the CFO, the chief executive is here, of the finances is here. So we are good. We're just missing John in the United States and missing Namibia in the comment section. Then we are ready to go. So as I was still thinking about that, I was like, no man. And please feel free to share the live stream on all platforms, please, ladies and gentlemen. That spreads the word even more. And YouTube is telling me that you guys are doing a great job in terms of sharing, about 2,000 shares per video on my channel. So that is going to help us one day, spread, make our voice even louder. Eastern Cape is here on not as bad as the Eastern Cape. Better gravel roads. Oh my goodness. If Eastern Cape is worse, then I don't know why Eastern Cape is a stronghold of the ANC. Then I absolutely don't know. You understand? My brother says, we love you here in America. What is saying? In diaspora, we see you. Thank you so much, my African brothers and sisters in America. Thank you so much. I love you guys also. Yo, how I wish I had some type of power when a police killing of a black African person in America happens, and I had the power to say no imports or export to America until the police that killed that child or that black African person is arrested. If we, Africa, showed America those type of consequences, that type of unity, when one of our African brothers and sisters is killed in America and nothing is unarmed, with hands risen up, a police can shoot a person on the back, a child at a parking, what do you call a park, and shoot and kill, and nothing happens. And you see our African brothers, you remember they're in the minority in America in terms of numbers, going for marches. You remember what was his name? The Floyd, is it George Floyd march and everything? Those things don't have an impact if we as Africa don't support those movements. In Africa, they will never kill a Chinese. They will never do that nonsense. They will never try it. They will never kill a Jew like that. They will never do those things. Only to us Africans, because they know that we are divided. The big thing is that we Africans have forgotten our identity, but our colonizers did not forget who we are. That's why they continue to prosecute us till today. They continue to kill us till today because of the fear of us waking up as Africa to the realization of who we are. That fear, it makes white people to have sleepless nights because they know who we are. Ngosnati says, I love the spirit, my brother. We need people like you. I need people like you, my brother. I need people like you. That's exactly what we're talking. Thank you so much, CFO. And forward with one Africa and Bloemfontein. Bloemfontein is my business home. My studio is so hot. My goodness, I need an aircon in here. When I get in here next month with proper lighting, I'm going to burn in here. I don't want to lie to you guys. In Africa, our African brothers don't like saying I don't want to lie to you. They say I can't lie to you. I've got a Senegalese friend. When he speaks, he says, "My brother King, I can't lie to you. Can't lie to you." When he says something, I love how we butcher the English language in Africa. Umondi says, "King, which book you read? You such informed. Where do you get?" Okay, we're going to address that. Let me write it down here, so that I don't forget that question. And it's important to share the knowledge that we are obtaining with the others. And that's exactly what we want people to see in our children at Peta, the Pan-African School of Economics, Technology and Agriculture. We want when people encounter a child from this school, they need to say, my goodness, where does this child come from? Which school? And then when you say Peta, and they say, oh, no wonder you're so smart. No wonder you're so informed. No wonder you're so informed. Understand? So I'll give you some names, my brother. We say we look good, King, today. I'm looking forward to see the interviews. This fellow, as you always do, and now you read, and I can tell. You guys think I'm a big researcher. I wouldn't say I'm a big reader. I wouldn't necessarily. I do read more than a normal person does, but I'm a visual person. So even with books, I prefer audio books. I prefer listening to books while I'm working and all when I'm studying and all of that stuff. That is my type of style. I'm a visual person. So if it's on video format or it's on audio format, I digest it easier than reading myself. I'm actually not a good reader. I'm sure most of you have noticed that. Has anyone noticed that the propaganda spreading lies and distinction Zuma since the ANC announced the suspension? Tulane, 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 Tulane. Thank you so much, Honorable Member Tulane. They're not gonna stop. I said, it's gonna come to a point where former President Jacob Zuma is going to be continuously taken to court. I told you the ANC, or let me say the Cyril Ramaphosa faction, fights with courts. Now, today, they've announced that the EFF, 6 of the EFF MPs are not going to be in parliament for the month of February. Remember, we're getting our State of Nation address in February. So Julius Malema, the deputy president, and 4 others, before I fumble the names, they will not be in parliament this month. And this month meaning February. And they are not going to get paid because they are not going to do any work in parliament. This is for what they did last year in February, protesting against issues of saying the president is a criminal. Is a criminal with Pala issue and other issues, state capture issues, and saying, listen, the president, you are implicated, you lied under oath, you need to vacate the office. They waited for 1 year. The Integrity Commission, the Power of Integrity Commission, has waited for 1 year to suspend both Julius Malema and the EFF, the people that you guys have voted for, and to say, listen, you are not going to take part of parliament for the state of address in 2024. And now I'm telling you, is the last state of address that Cyril Ramaphosa will have. King, when will the school start operating? We have no idea. We have no idea. Listen, we've got a lot to learn about what is required from opening a school. Understand? I went to one of the private schools here in Kimberley. It's actually an international private school that teaches a syllabus that is not in South Africa, that is not of South Africa, an Oxford International Standard School. And I've set up meetings to say, I want to speak to the principal. I want to understand what is going on in terms of how to set up a private school, because this will be a private, independent school. That's what we are aiming for. So as fast as we want to move, because I've had emails on emails. I said my Gmail was blocked. I'm not joking. I'm not joking when I say my Gmail was blocked. People offering land from everywhere. You understand? I'm talking about KZN. I'm talking about Mpumalanga. I'm talking about the Northwest. I'm talking about Limpopo. People offering land from those provinces. Says, King, I've got a piece of land here. If you want to open the school here in my village, if you want to do something, come over here, let's have a talk. Now, when you do something as a Pan-African, because we need to learn from what Dr. Uma Ifatunde is doing in America, and I know the situations are not the same in terms of the economical climax and the rules and regulations that need to be followed to open a school here in America, and in America and here in Africa. But we need to watch closely what they are doing so that we don't repeat the same mistakes. Now we are people of the spirit. We move with the spirit. So pray for me as I'm navigating myself in building this team. Because alone I can't do it. I know alone I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? I know alone I can't do it. So in building this team, I need spiritual discernment, a discernment spirit to see who are the genuine people that actually want to help, and who are the people that want to how do I put it? That want to sabotage the movement with their own agendas. So as a young man, I'm very young, guys. I'm in my mid-30s. So I have had emails from people who are above the age of 50, saying things like, King, I have the same dream. I've been wanting to do it. I'm like, you are 50-something years old and you want to, you guys understand what I'm saying. So I'm asking God to say, God, please give me the strength of a discernment spirit so that I can know who to choose properly. And so as the team, I've got graphic designers. I'm trying my level best to work with people around my age, like 10 years younger, 10 years older, like around my age, so that when we speak about the same thing. Because older people, when you want to move with the speed of light, sometimes they stop you. Younger people have got no fear, so sometimes they ignore the red tapes or the signs and everything and fall into trap. So we are watching and studying right now what is happening in other countries. There's a school of Pan-Africanism that was opened in Kenya. We're trying to allocate information as much as possible so that I don't do childish mistake. I hate making childish mistake. My father always said, you can't make mistake on a road that was traveled before you. Meaning, you must ask direction from the elders. So, meaning you ask this road from the people that have walked it before. Babo is saying, I'm very surprised that you know about George Floyd. That means I'm very surprised that you know about George Floyd. That means very surprised. What's going on? What are you typing, George? Or I can't read, or what's going on. Very surprised that you know about George Floyd. One Africa. Who doesn't know about George Floyd? You Americans, let me say America. You African Americans, the one thing that you are good at is advertising yourself and advertising and spreading the stories in on social media. So those stories, just like I have reached you from South Africa, the tip of Africa, reaching you in America, those stories they do reach us here in Africa. Yes, Undlozi too. Undlozi is also suspended, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Above all, to be mentally liberated as blacks, I hate to see how poverty play a major role when it comes to blacks division. It's sad because even your own can stab you from behind. The problem because of power. The problem, I'm telling you guys, the problem that we're having as Africans is classism. Classism is worse than tribalism. Classism is in every area of your life. The difference between the haves and the have-nots. That is the problem that we are having in Africa. So once you have a nice tie, a nice shirt, and a nice car, you start discriminating against the people who don't. And the what we are accused of as Africans is closing the door after we enter. In fact, when we get inside, we put a butler door and we weld the door closed so that the next person must not enter. Of which I want to strongly disagree with that notion that we Africans kick down the people when we get up, even though the evidence is there in the communities and in the business sector and everything. That's what we must change, because we were not taught in groups how to treat a fellow African person. You know, when you're you're raising your child in a particular way in your house, and you tell your child, listen, when you have something, share. When you have food and your friend does not have food, share your lunchbox with your child. Okay? So your child will know, I need to share because my father said I must share. Your child shares. Tomorrow, your child does not have anything. The child from the next door neighbor has got something, but he's refusing to share because the same principle was not taught to him. So this then damages the psyche of your child to say, but I was taught to share, then why is he not sharing? It creates envy. So if we don't teach our children in groups, we are wasting time. We are wasting time. That's why I said this thing of saying we must change the hood. We must improve the hood, make the hood a place. The difference in our class in the hood is the gap is too much for you to change. I say move from the hood and change the hood from outside. You will have a better view on what to do in the hood. You understand? Like, for instance, I can go to the hood and open a school and try to change the people mindset. Anyway, I think I'm also moving from the point I was doing. My king, about the school, kindly try to contact a guy called Dr. Uma. Yeah, yes. That's what I said. If Atunde is someone that we need to contact, is someone that needs to guide us. I watch him a lot. If I can get his email or something, I will. Babo, can you organize his numbers or something, and so we can try to have him being one of the people that can mentor us into this journey of PASETA, the Pan-African School of Economics, Technology and Agriculture, so that we can make sure that he advises us accordingly, because apparently what he's waiting for right now with his school, everything is done, is the occupation letter. You know, when you get into a building, you need an occupation letter that have declared the building safe and everything after renovations and stuff like that. So it looks like anytime soon, that school will be open, and we'll be watching as South Africans, as Africans, closely what they are doing in that school, and hopefully implement some of the curriculums that they are doing, because it does not help. There's a Pan-African school here in Jamaica, in the UK, in Africa, in the US, but all of them are teaching different things. It does not help. Understand? That is where uniform must come in. Some of the syllabuses that there must be taught here in Africa. Some of the syllabuses that are taught here in Africa must be taught there. And because it's an independent school, we can shift and play around with the syllabus the way we want. You got me? So I will definitely be in contact with Dr. Uma. I did meet him when he came to South Africa. What year was it? Can't remember what year it was. Not now recently. Back in the years, about 2018, 17, somewhere there. I can't remember, but I did meet him. But as a young man back then, I had absolutely no ambitions whatsoever of opening a school. But, you know, as a Pan-African is something that stayed in my heart. And I said, no, listen, we need to do something as a generation that is living now. We need to do something for the African agenda. Mr. Easy Imali Enengi, I like you, brother. I'm watching you from KZN. Kwa mhlabu ya lingana. Oh, kwa mhlabu ya lingana. I almost said you said Kwamhlanga. There's a Umhlanga in KZN, and then there's a Kwamhlanga in Mpumalanga, where I come from. So I liked it. It will still have EFF members, and they will let them know in Parliament where is our members. Yes, listen, only 6 members of the EFF has been what you call suspended from Parliament activities for the month of February. Best believe that the ones that are left are going to still set Parliament on fire. They're going to be kicked out. Best believe they're going to make it very difficult for the president to even deliver that State of Nation address on February. They're going to make it difficult. There's going to be another scene again where they kick out these members of Parliament. I don't expect anything less from the EFF. This is what they do. They are not afraid to be suspended. They are not afraid to do anything. The ANC is doing what we call the last kick of a dying horse. So we are not worried about those type of things. We want Pan-Africanists not to keep quiet when they see something wrong. And these other Pan-African so-called political parties in Parliament that are doing absolutely nothing. That's why we need Umkhonto weSizwe to be in Parliament, and they will be in Parliament. We need parties like Umkhonto weSizwe that are constantly advocating for black people, because this thing of us being in the minority in our own parliament because our ruling party is in the ass of white monopoly capitalists must stop. That rubbish must stop. I will definitely donate monthly from May. No problem. No problem. What you will be donating to is to King Said So. I'm going to set up an account for the school specifically because I'm having to work. I'm actually working in the finance department in my work, even though it's in the asset unit in the finance department where I'm assisting farmers with assets and biological assets and physical assets and all that. I know the implications of not having your paperwork in order. So monies that are donated to the school, I'm going to put that aside. I'm going to open an account aside. Those papers need to be audited by the independent somebody, not me, so that I don't mess around with people's money, because people will kill you for their money. And I respect what you call people's contributions in these tough economical times, for them to even take out a cent to the channel or to the movement of the school. So when we come to donating to the school, let's wait, please, all my African brothers and sisters, until there is an account. There is an account for that. For now, any donations that we do to the channel will be used in trying to get information, the contacts that we need to get the people that we need to get. That's how we will use the channel now. And we need to make sure that this channel has got a loud enough voice. We are now sitting at 15,000 subscribers. We need to get to 20, we need to get to 50, so that our voice can be louder. Sharing the content, it helps a lot, guys. It helps a lot. And so thank you to everyone. We are at no means going to play around with people's money, please. So no donations for the school for now, unless if you're making a private communication with me, and you know, the donation is some big amounts that I need to liaise with you how we're going to get that into the school system. But for now, we are still even creating the logo and the artificial work that we need to do for the school. So we are still in the infant stages of the school. So let's be patient with that. We are going to make speedily progress when it comes to that. Once the logo, the company is registered and everything, I'm going to announce every step that I'm doing with you guys in honor of keeping that clear communication with you guys. Jerry says, good evening, welcome, thank you so much for tuning in. Utulane says, the suspended EFF members must just use the time to campaign. Yes, yes, they must use the time to campaign because there is no time for wasting. There is no time for wasting. I mean, for them, because as from tomorrow they won't be allowed in parliament. They can focus on the campaign. What do you call the what do you call those thing, that thing they're gonna do on the 10th, on the 10th of on the 10th of February. 10th of February, they must focus on that campaign. I heard today that the last number that we had was about 23, the last number. And from that 23, I think only 21. That's Neo. Neo is one of the members on the channel, fully subscribed member of the channel. Thank you so much, Neo. A total VIP. You're one of the people that I'm going to bus or fly into Kimberley one day when the studio is properly set up, and make sure that we do interviews with the what you guys will call you the shareholders of the channel, so that we can spread the word of one love. I'm tired of speaking alone. I would like to pass the mic to some of you and hear your thoughts, and put you in the camera and hear and see how nice it is to be on camera. It's not nice, it's not easy. Thank you for the eye-opening channel, my young gentleman. Thank you so much. We are trying our best, eh? We're trying our best. Nobody's all informed. Nobody's all knowing. Nobody is better than the other or the next person. So we are trying our best to make sure that we stay informed, so that we can inform the public on what we are doing. Um, the goodness of the EFF, every MP is capable to turn around the tables in Parliament. That's what I said. They're not gonna. They're going to get hell for suspending those 6 MPs, because the EFF, there is, I think Buzium Kawan is the best level-headed person in that Parliament, and she needs to raise up to the occasion and start doing some crazy things, because we don't want to see normal things in Parliament. We want to see Parliament turned upside down. That's what we want to see. So we don't want to play around. Our King, you jumped me. John, who jumped watching from watching from Douglas, and I did see this comment. Is it the Douglas in Northern Cape? Douglas in Northern Cape? Sorry, Munna John. Sorry. Are you watching from Douglas in Northern Cape? Count me into interviews, my kind, please. Yes, I need to PX Media. I need to bring some people. As we grow, YouTube will be generating some type of money. As small content creators, the money is really not enough at the stage where I am now. But I'm forecasting that the money will start being good once we get to the 20, 30, 40,000 subscribers and all of that. For now, the only thing I can better is the mics, the lights, and everything, so that I can improve the visuals of the channel. But later on, when YouTube is paying good, I'm not going to hesitate to spend 10,000 rand to bring 3 people or whatever, 4 people to come into the studio, and we have a nice talk, some tea and everything, because that is how I'm going to build loyalty with some of you guys in terms of securing proper support for Peta, the Pan-African School of Economics, Technology, and Agriculture. Yes. So yes, John is watching from Douglas. He's just next to me. Yes, he's just about 50 kilometers or 40 kilometers away from me. I don't get much support from my province, actually, surprisingly. So I do get some people who are very loyal, some few, but I wouldn't say it's more than 10. Why is Cyril delaying on announcing the election date? Everything is strategic, Fortune. You don't just be excited and announce election date. Remember, they've got the the trademark case against what's his name, um, Jacob Zuma. They've got the firearm case against Julius Malema. Those are the two parties they need to concentrate on. So they need to strategically place the election date where it clashes or it disturbs the momentum of the two parties. That's number one. Number two, they are still cooking some more stories. They're still cooking some more stories that they want to finish up in court. They want to fight these people in court so that it disturbs their campaigning momentum. You understand what I'm saying? That is why they have delayed. There is a date already. Don't make any mistake. There is a date already for June in terms of the election. They know the date. They're not gonna tell us now because they're still thinking of moving or moving forward or moving back, whatever. We say that the election dates must be in May. Okay, it was in April in the beginning, and it has played around between April and May, mostly in May. So we expect it to be there. But I'm thinking if they want to wait for Julius Malema to be in court again and be found guilty for that, for disarming an AK-47 in public, they need to shift it to August, September or August or late July. When is Julius going back to court? I think June. So they need to play around with those dates and make sure that it is to their advantage when the election date is. That is the only reason. But probably he will announce it when he's giving the State of the Nation address. If he does not announce it then something fish is happening. Then I will be shocked. Number one, not surprised, but I will be shocked that they've got that type of isbindi, that type of machismo, that type of lever to not announce the election date on the State of Nation address, because that's when he will be speaking to all Africans, all the whole world. So I'm expecting that on that date you will be giving us the date. Watching from Malawi, the warm heart of Africa. Welcome you, my brother. Love my Malawian people. Malawi people, you guys have got the same heart as the Zimbabwean. Very kind people, eh? Very, very kind people. I've got a Malawian brother that's working in a shop here, not too far from where I stay. The Bushiri people, you guys are very kind people. First to your life, my brother. King, I want you to get a mic and set up a nice studio. Take this money for it here. Okay, I got you. I got you, my CFO. I got you, my CFO. I'll get a proper mic. This not these things, not these small things here. We are still new. Remember, guys, we are celebrating 1 year in March. In March will be the first year. Next month, where I started this channel, being a serious content creator. My YouTube channel is an old channel, but I did not know what the hell I was doing when I started being intentional about YouTube and saying I'm going to post every week. That was last year I started last year in February. Are we already on 1 year? Yeah, I think I was monetized in March. I started in February and monetized in March. No, I started in March and monetized in May. Yes. So yes, I am going to get a nice mic, Babu. Thank you so much for the contribution. I'll check for a nice mic. I'm a person that believes in shooting with. My goodness, this guy. Oh, thank you so much. This one is for the studio. Get a mic. Thank you, guys. I will post the. I will post the what you call the receipts and everything for you to see, my brother. Thank you so much for the support. I will definitely buy a mic. I'll definitely buy a mic. Thank you so much. May God enlarge your territory. May you never lack in the area of finance, for your kind heart. Thank you so much. So where was I? Okay, so now we can continue. King, I am 60 years old, a mother of five. This at this attend a technical high school. So I'm passionate about practical modern theory. Theory is a waste of time. Theory is a way. Imagine learning how to balance books. Imagine learning how to do your balance sheets, how to draw up a financial statement at school and never doing it practically. You can learn it for 5 years with the examples on in a book, but it's not the same. If I have my son that is in my business for 5 years learning how to do a balance sheet, an income statement, what is coming in and what is coming out, and your child is 5 years in school. After 5 years, my child will have experience of an income statement. Your child will have the theory of income statement, and your child is still going to make some mistakes that my child learned years ago because my child was doing practical. I'm sick and tired of theory. Theory is an introduction to practical, and that's what we must do in our Pan-African school. We introduce a topic, then we go and do the theory part. You can't teach people farming on a book. What on earth are you doing teaching farming on a book? You can't teach children technology on a book. You teach them right there in the studio where they are manufacturing and doing new inventions. You understand what I'm saying? Even with finances, economics, you teach children practical things. And that is what we're going to do. And by the way, just to give you guys more insight on the school, we're going to hide some of the curriculums we're going to teach from government. We are not going to say them out loud. We're going to say them to the parents and the children that enroll, because there's other things that are secret to Africa and Africans that we need to teach our children, that we can't tell people that we are teaching our children these things, because those things will be the reason why some of these schools will be blocked. And that's what I saw with some of these schools, even Dr. Uma's schools. When you're busy advocating for something and telling people this is what we'll do, this is what we'll do, people, your enemies know where to block you. You understand what you are saying? So God has given us the intelligence to hide some of the things. We're not going to say out loud some of the things we're going to teach at the schools. But mostly, yes, 100%, it will be practicals. I mean, what on earth are you doing if you are not doing practicals? You understand what I'm saying? So, yes, thank you for that. My mother, 60 years old, the same age as my mother. Nice. Paseta, our school on the way. I fully agree with you, King Tulani. Yes, yes. So that's what we want to do. So the school. Listen to this. The school, Paseta, is is the reason why you and I are alive in this lifetime. You got that? Me and you, when we die, because we are going to die, eventually all of us are going to die on this live chat. Everyone that is watching on this live chat is probably not going to be alive 60 years from now. So that tells you how much limited time that we have. And that's what I was trying to say in the beginning when I was talking about um, how God said, do not wait even longer. Call for help, and the people that I have placed will allocate you, and you will meet with other people, what we call divine connection, divine appointment. You understand? So we have a limited amount of time. We can't say we're going to do this in 5 years. Who has promised us 5 years? What do we know about how the economy state will be in 5 years? You understand? We have to move at the speed of light. And we have to move like young people that are energized. We can't be like we are planning how to build Dubai and have a 10-year plan to build a school. No, we're building a school now. Now. We are not going to be waiting around and doing whatever, still planning this. Let's try to see, rubbing things. Then the next thing, we never get to building this school at all. That's what happens when you discuss things too much and you don't do the practical work. That is what is happening. That's why I told my designers, listen, do the logo, do everything. I'll be busy with the registration of the company. We do everything. This month in February, register the company, do the logo, everything is done. Then we take the next step. We take the next step. Some few lands have been identified. I need to go with a team to those lands and watch what is going on. This land, is it good enough? Is the soil good enough? Because we are going to do agriculture also. Is the environment good enough? Is everything good enough? So that we know that this is the place that we want to take. My dream is to build the school from the ground up, but I'm not in any way discussing the idea of buying an existing building. You understand what I'm saying? And improving it and renovating it to the specs of Peta. So I don't have time we are not going to be alive for long, for God's sake, my people. You will die with no contribution to the African agenda if we miss this type of opportunities. The only thing we would have said we have contributed to the African agenda is a YouTube channel. That is all talk. A YouTube channel is only all talk. And we will be judged for being talkers and not doers. We will be judged by the coming generation. They will say, don't tell me about King. All he has done in his life was to create a YouTube channel. That's all he was good for. The only thing he did was talk. That's what King did. Don't tell us about King and his followers, his so-called family members from YouTube. They did nothing for us. That's what the coming generation will say about us if we don't build the school. But if we build the school, I'm telling you, when you die, even in a hail of bullets, when you think of your contribution to Peta, you will die with a smile. I'm telling you right now. You will say, okay, it's fine. My time can come because I have made my contribution on this planet, on Earth, and it will outlive my physical body. The wall of fame at the school will have your name. It will have everyone that has contributed. Your name will be there. Alphabetically, our names will be there. And it will be different classes on the wall of fame. There will be just your normal contributors, there will be your executive contributors, and there will be your platinum contributors. Different class of people. But as long as your name appears in one of those walls, I mean, it will be a proud thing as an African to say, I have contributed in the movement of building a Pan-African school. That's all we can do. Let's go in this thing, man. Let's go into this thing and let's just do it. Let's just do it. I agree 100%, King. It's about time that for us to open our eyes and stand up and do the right thing. We have to do the right thing. We have to do the right thing. What is this talking going to help us and assist us with? Huh? Look at what AfriForum, a Black African organization, has built. They've got lawyers, they've got accountants, they've got researchers, they've got analysts, they've got everything. They are building companies out of AfriForum. Why can't we do the same? I run a safety consulting company, Dlamini. So if I can assist in the safety compliance, I am willing to do that. We need people like you. King Kong is saying, how do we need to build? Okay. King Kong, why are you deleting your message? I was about to read it. We need people like you to learn. We need people like you. When the need arises and we post the need and say, here's a post. Some of you, we're going to pay you for doing the work, because sometimes, when people are volunteering to do the work, and I've learned that from watching Dr. Uma Ifatunde. Some of you know him as Dr. Uma Johnson. You are when you get people who are volunteering help, sometimes they don't do a good job. Dr. Uma Ifatunde ended up having to employ a white company to come and help him with the renovations, because the black companies that were there were destroying their work and taking too much time in finishing the work that they were supposed to do. For some of you, we'll have to pay you for doing some of your services so we can hold you accountable for messing up our agenda and beat you up. We don't have time for people that want to mess around with the future of our children. So for some of you, we're going to pay you. Some of you will be kind enough to say, King, don't worry, I got you. Don't worry. But for some of you, for some work that are serious, like checking the safety, everything, and giving out the necessary advice in compliance and certificates and all of that, we'll have to need to pay you guys. Understand? One of you saying it just takes one spark to ignite a raging flame. We are that one spark. We are that one spark. The spark that refuses to die without a contribution to the Pan-Africanist movement. Ladies and gentlemen, if African countries don't do anything about the English language, if African countries don't do anything about the US dollar, the currency, uniting Africans behind one currency, the African currency, if Africans don't do something about the borders of our land, if Africans don't do anything about the business, the import and export of our goods, of raw materials, 50 years from now, our children will still be expected to speak fluent English just like us, because we are refusing to do anything. Let's get more lights in here. Let's get more lights in here. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? If we don't do anything as this generation, if we don't do anything for the coming generation, the next generation will be stuck in the same cycle. They will be stuck in the same cycle, and nothing will change in Africa. Absolutely nothing. English will still be the modem of communication to the rest of the world. If Africa speaks one language, other continents are going to be forced to study that one language to come and communicate in Africa, to come and communicate with us Africans. Because in our news, we'll be speaking that language, Kiswahili. In our printed media, it will be in that language. That's the dream that we need to see. And for them, go to China. China does not care if you don't know what is their language again. Whatever their language is, they don't care if you don't know that language. You go in there, in Japan, everything is written in their language. They don't care about English. Only us Africans care about English. You understand what I'm saying to you? Only us Africans care about who's speaking the better English. Oh my God, you sound so educated with this English and whatever. We are not proud of our own languages. I'm a Tsonga man. I grew up in Kwandebele. My mother is Pedi. So there's 3 languages that I grew up around with. Shangan, Tsonga, Pedi, and Ndebele. Fluent in the languages. Not so much in Shangan, Mandarin. That's the language of China. They don't get, those Chinese people don't care. If some of them who are here in South Africa opening shops, they are still not fluent in English. They only know few words that makes them to survive. You know how much this is. Yeah, it's good. Take this one good for you. This one good for you. No, take this one. 100%. They know the numbers and they know how to say thank you and take this one and no thanks. That's all they know, in English. They don't care about English. But just take a look at how we Africans have adopted this English rubbish language, giving our children English names. You know, we are so married to this language, it's not even funny. We, we, we are going to decolonize our children from this language in a Paseta. We are going to decolonize them. And it will start with them. And that needs to happen in every Pan-African school wherever it is open. And there needs to be an annual event for all the Pan-African schools where either the principals, the teachers meet and discuss the syllabus and the curriculum that is being taught in Pan-African schools. We need to be uniform. And that's when I speak to Dr. Uma Ifatunde, that's what I will say to him. That you are not going to preach your own thing there in America and do whatever you think is good enough. The majority of Africans are here in Africa. So the syllabus that you are doing in America must speak to the needs of Africans. And that is how Africa is going to unite with our Black African brothers in America, African brothers and sisters in America. Do you understand what I'm saying? Why don't we have a Swahili Tuesday or any day? And the idea is to have a Swahili lessons every week. I used to do that. I used to do that, and I stopped. There is if you go on my playlist, there is Swahili Mondays. I need to go back on the Kiswahili thing. Najifunza Kiswahili kidogo kidogo. My Swahili is actually good, so I need to go back to you guys and help you. I said I want to study other African languages because I can speak Shona, I can speak Kiswahili, and all South African languages, all 11 official languages, and 2 other additional languages that are not official in South Africa. So it's important to learn languages. But Kiswahili, it looks like many people are leaning towards Kiswahili as a language of preference because of the level of advancement it has in terms of the terminology, science terminology, just like Zulu has. I've said this many times. What is an atom in your language, in African language? Many African people can't tell you science terminologies in their language. Kiswahili has and Zulu has. You know, you can study science in Zulu, you can study science in Kiswahili. And that is why that's how we get to choosing these languages. So that's what we need to do. Give me some time. I said January, we are just posting. I need to go back to a formal program on the channel, like you said, choosing a particular day and saying, okay, today we are all learning this language, and I just dropped the videos. So I'm going to write that down. I'm gonna write that down and make sure that I bring that back. Give me a week. I'll come back with an answer for that and a day for that. It will probably be on Mondays again. So I need to go back on that. I need to go back on that. King Kong, thank you so much for that contribution. I don't even want to finish this stream because the excitement is too much. The excitement is too much. It's too much. I've been longing for someone else who will have the same ideas, but with the will, platform, and resources. The same goes to me. I've been waiting so long for someone to speak the way I'm speaking. Waiting for so long. But unfortunately for me, that someone never came. I looked at all the Pan-Africans. There was a time where Penwell, the Black Pen, was a Pan-Africanist. I was following him. Then he turned around. I'm like, what the hell is this now? And so many other people who are Pan-Africanists, but Pan-African is only by the word or by the name, as we say it in Africa. You are a warrior by name, but not by your action. So I got disappointed to an extent, and that's what pushed me into saying, "Ah, man, I can do a better job than some of these people I look up to." Understand? And some of them will claim to be Pan-Africanists. They are spaghetti Pan-Africanists. They are wishy-washy type of Pan-African. In some topics, how can you be a Pan-Africanist but you are against Africa opening its borders? Doesn't make sense to me. As a Pan-Africanist, doesn't make as a Pan-Africanist, you can't be against the idea of Africa having one president. When China has got 1.23 billion people and have got one president, when India has got 1.5 billion people, have got one president, when Africa has got the same amount plus minus 1 point something billion people, and we've got 54 presidents. I mean, what type of nonsense is this? When are we going to speak in a unified voice? You understand what I'm saying? So it's crazy. Another thing I wanted you to cover also that I dropped the video about today. I'm sure some of you guys saw. Yeah. But Neo says I also used to follow the Black Pen. When I stopped following Penwell is when he said he is no longer Zulu. That's when I knew this man is going to lead our African brothers and sisters on a wrong path. And I want to clarify this. Pen, there is some knowledge and there is a level of intelligence that the young man has. And I don't want to say he's all bad. I've always said on this channel, there's some things that he teaches about. I don't follow him much now anymore, but even when I stopped following him because of I used to follow him a lot and subscribe to his channel, his videos used to pop up on my feed and I used to watch. I said, there's other topics that I would listen to Penwell too. But when he starts to touch politics and when he touch topics on racism, on anything that affects black people, I just don't waste my time anymore. I can't wake up one day and decide I'm not an African. What type of fuckery is that? I can't wake up and say I'm not Tsonga. I did not choose to be Tsonga. I did not choose to be African. I was born African. I was born a Tsonga man, and I'm an African man before I'm Tsonga. You understand? When you see me, you see an African man. You don't see a Tsonga man. You don't see a Pedi man. You see an African. Before I open my eyes, my mouth, and introduce myself, you see an African man. Let me get into this. The border sentiment. We must understand that we fix South Africa. Okay, let me read this one. It says the border is sensitive. We must understand that we must first fix South Africa before we fully open up. Otherwise, we will collapse the very foundation we are meant to build on. Okay, let's take that statement and break it down a little bit. Okay, let me see. Paseta is a good name. Thank you so much. Took me time. The graphic designer was asking me, King, what is the name? What is the name? South African school pen of pen. It took me time to get to that name. It took me time. Listen to this one now. Let's discuss this. And I want my African brothers to engage with me. Sit down and listen. The account, sit down and listen. If it's a viable YouTube channel, you guys go there and subscribe. I can't check it right now, but please guys follow some other. Don't just follow what King says. So says. Now there is a notion that Africans carry. You understand? That no, let's not open the borders. If we open the borders, we're going to break the very foundation, like sit down and listen says, that we are trying to build. Understand? Let's first build what we have here. Now, when you look and listen to what that is saying, if you don't look at it in an African agenda bedside of view, it will totally make logic to what as to what this person is saying. Fix South Africa first. When South Africa is fixed, then you can fix Zimbabwe first. And a lot of people, there's people that like to, especially my PA people, they will say, if you say the borders must be opened, King, then open the gate of your house at night. Let's see how long you're going to last. And Kimberly has got a lot of break-ins. And I want to break this down for you. If we want to teach, let's say, let's make it this example. I want us to get into this, guys, because a lot of people like making this claim that let's fix ours first before we talk about others. Worry about your South Africa. I mean, South Africans, especially South Africans, because we are seen as the Dubai of Africa. Let's worry first about us before we even talk about fixing other people. If a community, let's break it down to a small scale. If a community has got a problem of women abuse, of which South Africa has, women abuse, okay? And you, as a person who is chosen to solve that problem, would you rather, in your house, there's women abuse also in every household. Are we back, guys? We just reconnected there. I don't know why. Is it because of the time? Okay, we have got a few minutes left, but I need to cover this issue. Are we good, guys? Everything all right? Audio still good? Are we good, guys? Just confirm with me on the comment section. My phone just reconnected there. I don't know why. So, if you want to solve the women abuse problem in your community, listen to this, guys. We're good. Thank you. Yeah, sit down. I'm speaking race to you. We're good. Thank you. Thank you. If you want to solve the women abuse problem, would you rather fix the problem in your house alone, or would you call a community meeting to fix the problem as a whole? We're bringing it down to a small scale, because some of these countries we are talking about that are having issues can be easily sorted out by the bigger countries. For example, Lesotho's problems can be sorted out by South Africa just like this, because the Lesotho population is too small. The same with Zimbabwe, the same with Namibia, the same with Botswana. I'm not saying they're having problems, but I mean, if we tackle them as SADC, never mind as Africa, as SADC, the southern parts, the southern countries of the southern tip of Africa, we can solve the problem easier. One good example, if the SADC countries say to the USA, of which are the people that have placed sanctions on Zimbabwe, and said, listen, we are not going to export any goods and not allow any business of America to trade with the SADC countries, of which South Africa is a big market for any European or any country outside Africa. South Africa is one of the biggest markets in terms of consumers. If we say we are not going to make any business with you until you take out the sanctions out of Zimbabwe. If you lift the sanctions, then we'll do the business thing. Because Zimbabwe alone, they don't have the voice loud enough to influence the international market. Just like Palestine, if Palestine said we want to solve our problem in the Palestine issue, because South Africa has got crime. You know, more people are dying in South Africa on a daily than they are dying in Gaza. South Africa focused on its own problem and said, we are not going to assist other people because we need to fix our issue first. Imagine what was going to happen in Palestine. By now, Gaza was going to be finished if this international court case did not happen. You understand what I'm saying? So the notion that Americans, our colonizers, the Dutch and the British have taught us Africans, they have taught us to do classism. And that's what I said when we started this channel, that let's get rid of classism. Understand? When they got here in the seashores of the Cape, the Cape countries, there was no we were equal. The only person that was not equal to the rest of the communities is what we call Induna, the chiefs and the kings. The rest of us were equal. And the king was consulting too much to the normal people. Understand? You had free access to the king, and we stayed as one as Africans in our small villages where we were staying, and some in big kingdoms such as the Zulu kingdom and the likes. So it is a selfish thing to say, forget about the border. I'm talking about the problems in Zimbabwe. Who is going to assist Zimbabweans? Because Zimbabweans are failing to assist their to help themselves. Understand? I can have a problem with my car here in my yard, but if my neighbor who can assist me, who's a mechanic, he can assist me with the car, but he's focused on his problem with his roofing. He says, I need to fix my house problems first before I assist. When are we as Africans going to assist each other? Yeah, listen, that the policy, you're saying, King, you're referring to policy unity. That's more logic. Total unity compels us to fix ESCOM first, so we don't export load shedding to our population to Botswana. Listen, South Africa has got a water problem. That's what I'm saying. Listen to me very well. South Africa takes some of its water from Lesotho. Understand? Lesotho has got other problems that they have. I'm saying your strong point could be my weak point. You don't have to wait to fix your weak point before you help me. Zimbabwe has got minerals that are more than South Africa, that we as South Africans can benefit from if the sanctions fall off. If I open because it's easy to get what you call what do they call this license, this mining license for small scale mining in South Africa. What do you call it? The name is, but it's small scale mining. If I open a mine in Zimbabwe, once APSA sees that there's transfers that are happening from Zimbabwe to South Africa, they stop and block that account. Why? Because of the sanctions that Zimbabwe must not do business and strive in the minerals of its country. So what I'm saying to you is that don't look at your problems, look at your strengths and focus on that. You can fix and help Zimbabwe. You can fix and help other people. Botswana can teach us how they dealt with De Beers, because South Africa failed to deal with De Beers. De Beers has looted South Africa, specifically here where I'm staying in Kimberley, taken all the diamonds and closed off all their offices. De Beers no longer has an office in Kimberley. Kimberley was known in the whole world as the Diamond City. It's still known as the Diamond City. The crowns on the crown of the diamonds on the crown of the Queen of England are coming from Kimberley. You understand what I'm saying? And De Beers finished us. So Botswana can teach us how they deal with foreign companies. Africans, don't look at your weaknesses and your needs. Look at your strengths and focus on that. Example, we want to build Paseta. If we look at our weaknesses and needs, if I say, but I'm still short of petrol in my house, I'm still short of food in my house, I'm struggling with paying my school fees for my children, when am I going to take out these selfish needs in order to build the school? We are never going to get to the school. Everyone has got problems. Everyone has got problems. So when we are talking about an open border, we are not saying do as you please. We say we are no longer going to charge you, and you no longer need a passport to cross to another country. You need an identification document. Identify yourself and go to that country. A Zimbabwean in South Africa cannot vote in South Africa. That's the only right he does not have. Can't vote here. Must go back and vote at home to improve the political state of Zimbabwe. You can also agree that if the IEC was involved in the running of the elections in Zimbabwe, maybe the outcomes would have been different. You see how we countries can help each other. So again, think about it. Think about it a lot. It does not help wanting to fix your problems first before you can fix other people's problems. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not sure if I'm making sense. Anyway, that's how I look at things. If we don't have borders in between provinces in South Africa, why should we have borders in between countries in Africa? That's why they want Cape independence, because they want borders in Western Cape. King, take a look at Thabo Mbeki's statement concerning Zuma's corruption, counter revolution. I'll check it out. I'll check it out after I'm done here. I still need to do 2 videos after I'm done here for you guys to get in the morning. You guys understand what I'm saying? Before I lose my Julius Malema made the perfect example about the provinces not having a borders. Gauteng is the richest piece of land in Africa per square meter. You understand what I'm saying? It is the richest. Johannesburg has got more millionaires and billionaires than any country in Africa. Why is it that people who stay in poor Limpopo, rural Limpopo, don't run to Gauteng? Home will always be home. No matter what a Zimbabwean does, they will never completely feel at home thousands of kilometers away from home. Where you are born is where the heart will always be. So having that, and the main issue that South Africans are having is the crime issue. And I concur with you guys. We have a crime issue, and yes, some of the crime is committed by our foreign brothers and sisters. But I've always said it's a policing issue. Our police simply don't do their job. They don't have the willpower to work. They don't even have the intelligence to solve crime. Our police in South Africa. People are dying more than Palestine. At Palestine, we're calling it genocide in Palestine. But here in South Africa, people are dying at crazy rates. You understand what I'm saying? About 24,000 murders in a year. 24,000 murders. So it is crazy what is happening in South Africa. And most of those murders are committed by South Africans to South Africans. We can count the percentage-wise. The foreigners don't commit more crimes than South Africans in South Africa. Stop joking to yourself. Stop fooling yourself. It's not true. We've always said, take all the Zimbabweans out, take all the Nigerians out. Tomorrow, the next day, there will still be crime in South Africa. There will still be unemployment in South Africa, because we are not realistic about, we are not honest about who is committing the crime, and we are not realistic on our ability to solve the crimes. You understand what I'm saying? May God give us the strength, because the most painful thing that pains my heart is when we as Africans need to move forward. And I'm not specifically speaking to you, sit down and listen. Is when we as Africans want to do something that moves Africa forward, and then you find an African advocating against it. Why would you want to protect the borders when you did not create them? When your people did not create them? Who formed these borders? Answer that question, and on that question, ask yourself why. Ask yourself why. If your enemies, your colonizers are the one that created the borders between countries, why would you want to create them? That's why I say you can't be a half-hearted Pan-Africanist. It's like being a Christian but applying certain things of Christianity but not applying the others. Being a Muslim, applying certain things of Islam but not applying the others. Where do you stand? Where do you stand? As Pan-Africanists, we are saying the borders was a colony system that we don't want anymore. That's us Pan-Africanists. We need, of course, on top of the removing of the borders, solve the crime issue, solve the economical issue, solve the policy issues, align our laws, and make sure that everything works nicely and does not disturb one country more than another country. If we fight for the sanctions to be removed in Zimbabwe, if we fight for business to operate in Zimbabwe, many Zimbabwean people, I promise you, will not leave Zimbabwe. Many of them are not leaving Zimbabwe because they want to. It's not a nice thing to leave home. Ask all our African brothers that are staying in America and in Europe, if the same opportunities they have in America and Europe were here in Africa, will they stay here? 90% of them will say yes. It's not nice being away from home. I have a house here in Northern Cape. I'm married here in Northern Cape. My wife is from Northern Cape. Moved here because of other family issues that I can't say now. And studied here, graduated here, found a job here, working here, started businesses here, started these movements here in the Northern Cape. But my heart is in Mpumalanga because that's where I come from. You understand? It's not a tribalism thing because I'm Tsonga and Mpumalanga does not have a lot of Tsonga people, especially where I come from in Kwandebele. It's a Ndebele dominated tribe. But when I go there at home, the way those people speak, and I don't want to say celebrate me or honor me, but it's different how they receive me, let me say that, than Northern Cape people. Because I'm not from Northern Cape. You understand? I'm not saying given a chance I would go back to Mpumalanga because I love Northern Cape. Northern Cape is like a home to me. Like I said, it's been years since I've been here now, so I'm not going to move easily from this province. Understand? Mary saying open flat was Cape Flats was considered as the murder capital of the world once. It's still in the top 10. It's still in the top 10. It's still in the top 10. Now, imagine if you send an operation like Operation Dudula or Operation Wanyatsotsi from here in Kimwe, people that can fight crime, and take them to the Cape Flat to go and fight crime. But you also introduce an economical program, job stimulation program, an educational program. You mix these things with fighting crime. You can solve that problem in Cape Town. But if you say, I want to solve first the problems of my city, then we are never going to get to a place where we are united as people. The old African saying says, a child is raised by a village. But today, they say it takes a village to kill a child. They say it takes a village to raise a child, But today we say it takes a village to kill a child because the unity is no longer there. I agree with the notion that borders must be open. It's not let's open them and let's see what will happen. No, let's open them with informed policies, with proper policing, with proper everything. You understand? So people can know when I cross the border to another country, not to South Africa, forget about South Africa, to another country, this is what I can do, this is what I can't do. You understand? This is the limits of my rights in other countries, and at least they have allowed me to enter the country freely. So I can't abuse that right of entering the country freely and start committing crime and whatever. You commit crime, you never come back here again. You commit crime, our prison systems will be changed so much that prisoners would not want to go back to prison. In South Africa, prisoners are not worried about going to prison. In fact, we even have a say that prisoners have got a right more than your normal civilians. Prisoners have got free education, they've got cell phones, they've got everything that they need in South Africa. Like going to prison in South Africa is not a bad thing. Yes, we do have notorious prisons where it is rough and everything, but if you have money, you can survive in any prison in South Africa. Go to prison in Zimbabwe. You will never want to go back there again. And my brother is saying, look what is happening in the DRC. Oh my goodness. The DRC, let me see if I still have the notes of the DRC. In the DRC, the eastern part of the DRC, the Tutsis and the Hutus people have been fighting for the land there. You understand? And the DRC is the most richest country in Africa when it comes to resources under the ground. They've got the biggest forest in Africa. That is only second to the Amazon. And I don't believe it's second to the Amazon because you know how Americans are with their information. They like to make things as if they are bigger in the US and smaller here in Africa. Because even the landscape of Africa on the map is made to seem as if it's almost the same size as America when it's 2 times the size of America. So I'm going to say the DRC has got the biggest forest in the world, which has specific wood that is used for luxury furniture. Diamonds, gold, or anything any mineral you can think of, you probably can find it in the DRC. All the countries, USA and all these colonizers have got a big interest in the DRC. So what they do to destabilize the government, they send rebels and equip them with guns to fight the government. I've always said it does not make sense. Like when you go to Nigeria, in the northern part of Nigeria, we know there are rebels that are fighting and killing farmers and taking land. And where they are fighting, underneath that ground, there's minerals, there's gold and everything. That's why they are fighting in that specific part of Nigeria, not in the north, not in the south. I mean, not in the south, not in the west, not in the east, but in the north of Nigeria. And you ask yourself, how can a rebel camp, have you seen how rebel camp look? How can a rebel camp be strong enough to defeat an army of a country? The situation in the DRC, they have been fighting these rebels since the war started in 1992 there. Do you understand what I'm saying? They've been fighting there. It started as a tribal war over land between the Hutus and the Tutsis. It started as a tribal war in the land, but then it got escalated for fighting for minerals, and that's when America would send their armies and everything. Once America or France or any other colonizer have got an army in your country, forget, your country will never come right. We know this because Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali fired the French army out of their countries, and immediately after firing them, few months later, few weeks later, they managed to defeat the rebel camps. Understand? Because the armies of these people are not there to assist us as Africans. You understand what I'm saying? Whew, my goodness, I've been talking now for more than an hour now. Okay, let's get 20 more minutes in, and then we're going to close up. I need to do videos for you guys so that when you wake up every day 7 o'clock, you need to find a video on your thing. As long as Africans have one currency and one army in our lifetime, I would die a happy man. Oh my goodness, music to my ears. But now, listen, now he's saying you will die a happy man if we have one currency and one army. He's not even asking for the other stuff, one president and one army, one currency, he will die a happy man. Now, another African person will say, I will never have one currency. We'll never have one army. You know how demoralizing that is. And not a white person. If a white person says that it's fine, they can say it's fine. But not an African person speaking against something that clearly progresses Africa. Sit down and listen. Do you believe that someone will come along and be better suited to lead SA other than the EFF, and would you support them? Ibrahim Traoré, the current president of Burkina Faso. If there was an election between him and Julius Malema, I would choose him. I would choose him. I mean, there was a point where Gaddafi was seen to be a man that can lead the whole Africa, was killed. There was a point where Thomas Sankara was seen as a man that could lead the entire Africa and was assassinated. I think right now, if we had to go with popularity contest and Pan-Africanism, if all African people were to vote for a president in Africa, most of them would vote for Julius Malema. He is loved throughout the whole of Africa. He is loved, and we've always said, yeah, my Lord, I know my story when it comes to these people. Ibrahim is younger than Julius Malema, but more aggressive than Julius Malema. Absolutely no fear in that young man's eyes. Yeah, I think he's the same age as me, younger than me. Ibrahim, yeah, I think he's 1 year younger than me. So yes, I would not. I would, like you say, I will not even flinch. If you had to put Julius Malema here in front of me and Ibrahim Traoré in front of me, I'll choose Ibrahim maybe 9 out of 10 times. You understand? I will choose him. So he needs to learn an African. He needs to learn an African language, because the problem is that they were colonized in French, and French was their main language, and that does not that does not rub off well with the rest of us of Africa, because every time he gives a speech, we don't hear what he's saying, don't understand. You have to understand French. But because Julius Malema speaks in English, his message reaches more people than a message of French in Africa. You understand what I'm saying? So for me, what he has done in less than a year from taking over the Burkina Faso government, for me, that is the man I would choose to lead Africa, a fearless general. Of course, he will make some mistakes. He's still a young man, but I would choose him, and Julius Malema will be his deputy, or Julius Malema will be the president, and he will be my deputy. And also, don't forget the Mali general that took over Mali from the president. What's his name now again? It's got a difficult name. I'm forgetting it. The Mali general also, I'll make him I would make him the commander of the African army, the Mali general, because he did not even waste time when he took over from the Mali government, when he took over from the corrupt government of Mali. He didn't waste time demolishing French as the official language of Mali. He didn't waste time appointing African languages. He didn't waste time going and building streets, improving their lives, improving the state of Mali, the standard of living in Mali. Even though sanctions were then forced amongst on top of that country, including Burkina Faso, including Niger, including Czech Republic. Those countries are facing big sanctions because of the army took over. They call it a coup. The coup took over from the government. So the coup was not elected like the system of the white people. They have given us this election of democracy nonsense. But look at the work that these generals are doing in those four countries. They are doing better than the former president. I mean, look at what the general of Niger is doing. And remember, Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso have now exited the ECOWAS countries. You guys know ECOWAS is the 15 countries in the east, in the west of Africa, who are formed in one organization in terms of what do you call it? Inter-country relations with each other. The 15 countries in the east is in the east of Africa. The three countries that have exited that ECOWAS nonsense, because ECOWAS did not assist them when they were fighting against French. So yes, without even flinching, I would choose Ibrahim Traoré. Make no mistake. Make no mistake. Julius Malema, yes. Also, one of my favorite politicians. And there's a politician in Ghana by the name of George. What's his surname, George? He also has got a simple surname, a short surname. George, he will be my people's relations manager or international relations manager. He says, will the SADC be our solution, because the political route is bound to be lengthy and complicated. Nothing is lengthy and complicated once you've got the right people on. Why is it that it took so many years for Burkina Faso, after the assassination of Thomas Sankara in the 80s? Since then, the African Agenda mission has stopped from then up until 2022, when Ibrahim Traoré took over. When Ibrahim took over, he did what Burkina Faso could not do in 30 years, more than 30 years, in less than a month, in less than a year. So nothing is too far when the willpower is there. We just have the wrong people in office. Like I said, it can't take us 10 years to build the school. 10 years time we should have been building other schools, not one school. If the will is there, forget about the money, forget about the other things. If the will is there, then this thing can happen tomorrow. I believe that. And as young people, that's how we must think. Unless if you're an old person, old people like procrastinating and overthinking things. Young people don't have time for overthinking things. 5 years from now, 7 years from now, I'll be in my 40s. Like, who would want to speak to a 40-year-old anymore about the future of South Africa? They will see me as an old person. I need to do it now. We need to do it right now. There's no time for procrastinating and saying, well, let's overthink things. We're wasting time. Let's go into the practical things of our African Agenda mission. There's no mission 2030. 2030. 2030. Are you saying Africans must unite in the year 2030? You don't know what is going to happen. Remember, these people are even planning another pandemic because that other C pandemic did not work the way they wanted to. And remember, only Rwanda and Uganda, some few countries in Africa said no to the vaccine. Only few countries, but to show you that Africa was not in control of itself, they could close our borders from America. They could say nobody flies out of Africa, nobody does this out of Africa, because we are not in control of our economy. But they could fly to us, but we can't fly to them. You understand what I'm saying? It's European countries and the Americans who could open their borders first before allowing us. They got the vaccine first, giving us the vaccine. Pure rubbish. And as long as we Africans want to overthink things like this will continue to happen to us. That's why if I say, if you overthink things, you'll end up dying, African brothers and sisters, and then you will die with no contribution to the African agenda. That is my biggest fear for us. Overthinking things and over talking things. Open the fucking damn borders, man. Open them. And the problems that occur when the borders are open, let's solve those problems. You understand what I'm saying? Let's open the borders. Let's mine the minerals of Zimbabwe. Let's make sure Zimbabwe is a better country. Let's make sure everything is good in Zimbabwe. Everything is good in Lesotho. Everything is better in Swaziland, in Botswana, in Namibia, and Zambia. And let's make sure everything is good in Malawi. Let's work together. Let's solve the problems. But I'm too selfish thinking about myself. Let me first solve my problems before. What if in your lifetime you can't solve your problems? You understand what I'm saying? You work so hard doing things on your own. I realized that when I opened the YouTube channel, because I did not have someone I can call and ask about editing, about how to set up things. I did everything by myself. It took me long. There are channels that are open this year, 2024, that are doing political reporting like I'm doing, that are far bigger than my channel already. Because probably they have a point of reference, people they can ask. When you are doing it alone, African child, forget about the speed of light. It will never come. It will never come. Try to solve the problems of South Africa alone as South Africans. You'll never come right. Even with us, with the African National Congress, it took other countries to help us here in South Africa to defeat the African and the apartheid regime. We were never going to defeat that regime on our own. Well, we were in a bloodbath, we probably were. But I'm just saying, you understand what I'm saying. So as we are reaching a close, please, it's been 2 hours now. Please click the like button because that helps spreading the algorithm of editing stuff on my channel. I even deleted a lot of my videos. Yeah, it's because you do not have anyone to help you. Now your channel died because, or not died, but slowed down because if you ask a brother like me who still has a lot to learn about YouTube, I was probably going to be able to assist you with other things. And I am, by the way, assisting other channels. I'm getting a lot of emails. People are asking me, King, how do you do this? How do you do that? What software do you use for editing? Whatever. As an African brother, as long as another African who's asking me, jump on it. Understand? I've assisted some with finances, of which other things I don't even say here because you don't want to look all self-righteous and whatever. But once the need became too much, I was like, oh my God, this is overwhelming that people. Just today I got an email from a brother in Limpopo who's got a piece of land and is farming and he needs a startup capital for the farming and everything. It's like, I can't help everyone, but those who I can help, I try to help. When is the next live? We're going live. Today is what, ne? Oh my God, we're going live on Sunday. On Sunday. On Sunday. Sunday 9 o'clock. Sunday 9 o'clock is the next live. Sunday 9 o'clock is the next live. Sunday 9 o'clock is the next live. I'll be traveling. I'll be traveling. I can't wait to employ someone to come and do my notes for me. My goodness, I can't wait. I'm such a um, I'm such a neat freak. I need someone to come and I'm a neat disorganized person, if that makes sense. I need someone to come and organize my things alphabetically and with dates and everything. Sunday we're having our next live feed. Sunday 9 o'clock is our next nice feed. We need to have at least two of them in a week, so that we keep updating you guys as to what is happening with Peta, Pan African School of Economics, Technology, and Agriculture, and making sure that we are on the same boat. So we got some funding from Babo, who is in America. He says, King, get a mic. He's not happy with the mic. He sent us $100 to say, King, get a mic, get a mic. How YouTube works, you get whatever you got paid, you get paid a month later in YouTube. So what I will get this month in February is what I did in January. So yes, but whenever I get that money, I'll definitely buy a mic and show you guys the mic. I can't wait. Probably going to stick to the same color mics, but better quality, so that you guys can hear me. And those big mics and everything is something that will come in the process, in the process of when the studio is set up properly, because I really need better mics and better production for you guys to. I mean, some of you are here because you love what the channel stands for, and you love your boy King. But some people are on YouTube and they judge you according to the production of your podcast. So understanding that YouTube is a business in a way. So in order for us to grow, I can't keep on saying you must share my videos and everything, but I'm not improving the production. So March, April, February, and March, you guys will be seeing a big difference in terms of the studio setup. You'll be seeing a big difference, guys. I promise you. I promise you that when I did kick my car out of the garage, so the garage is empty right now. Let me show you guys. Let me show you guys so that you. Yes. So this is our setup right now. We don't have anything, and we are not. So this is my little garage that I have. I put in a basin, and this is the small setup that I have. This is the current lights I'm using. My goodness, this is the lights, these beautiful lights that you guys are seeing, is what I'm using. Don't have a tripod. This was a donation from a friend of mine. These two chairs were from a sponsor. That backdrop, the black backdrop, is from a sponsor. I have a red backdrop and a white backdrop, which I don't like using. Black is nice for me. And the mics that you guys are seeing is also from the sponsor. From YouTube, I managed to buy a better phone, because I was using this crap of a phone. This Samsung, what nonsense is this? Samsung, I don't know what, A something, 820 something. That's what I was using. So was it last week or something like that? I bought a P60 Pro, of which I think the visuals are a little bit better. P60 Pro is one of the best phones that you can get. So I need to get cameras. I'll get all of those things. I'll get all of those things. So this is not the setup that I shoot in. Obviously, you guys noticed that this is not a setup I shoot in on the daily. Um, on the daily, as I'm in the house. I'm in my house. So here will be where I get privacy. So I'm getting the couches, I'm getting the bookshelf. That will be my background. The bookshelf will be my background this month in February. And thank you to everyone that has contributed to the channel by subscribing, by liking, by joining as members of the channel. I really appreciate it so much. It makes a big difference. And you guys will start seeing the visual difference in the next coming weeks. In the next weeks, let me say 3 weeks, you guys start seeing the difference. So, oh my God, we could not cover everything. Let's speak on the next live feed again on Sunday. Let's meet 9 o'clock. If you guys would be so kind to release me, I need to do 2 videos for you guys before you wake up tomorrow morning. You get those videos live. Can I get a good night, and can I be released by the um, uh, honorable members? There's some members that are just getting in now. Curtis is saying, I wonder where's my Russian brother who's got a child in what you call in KwaZulu Natal. We've got a Russian brother that likes donating to the channel, who is in KwaZulu Natal, who is in Russia but has got a child in KwaZulu Natal. And even though he's no longer with the with the woman, but he has a child in KwaZulu Natal. Curtis, just big lot man. You speak a lot on no by a lang kaprat. So please release me as we're trying to re-educate ourselves to the African agenda and making sure that we are, we iron sharpens iron in terms of us loving each other, showing love to each other, showing support to each other, and eventually building the school. Hell, yo, I will roll in my grave if I die without building this school. I will not die a peaceful man. Mm-mm. I will not die a peaceful man if I did not leave something for the coming generation. I'm telling you, me personally, I will not die a peaceful death. I'll be fighting in the heaven gates, asking these people to send me back because I can't. Thank you for releasing me, Tulane. Tulane and Neo, you guys should be getting your t-shirts. Haven't you got your t-shirts yet that I sent last week in the book? It's been some few days now. I did not get a message of confirmation that you guys have received the t-shirts. Can 2 more people release me, please? Those who are late on the live, I will upload it. You guys can rewatch it again, and just give your thoughts on the comment sections. I'll see it and reply to them. Coming on the 7th, King. On the 7th. No, that's too long, man. I chose 3 to 5 days on the courier. Can't be on the 7th. These people. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry about it. I'm so sorry. I chose a courier option of 3 to 5 days. I don't know why that's what the SMS says. They probably said before the 7th. I cannot on the 7th. Bloodline Elite, my brother. You are late. We are already leaving the live feed. We've been 2 hours on this thing. 2 hours 5 minutes. Joining too late. Sorry about it, King. You are forgiven, honorable member. You are late in Parliament. We have concluded the matters of Parliament, and we spoke about many things, but the main thing was Peta and the Pan-African School of Economics, Technology and Agriculture. Okay, the third person is release me. Thank you so much, guys. Until we meet next time, don't forget to pray. And after you pray, stand up, African child, build the school, and do your best so that God can do the rest. Peace in Pan-Africanism. I salute you.